I bought a $2.65 stock that can double. And it's not for the reason that you think it is. There is a hidden metric that is screaming upside potential. All right. Let's just get into the fundamental, the metric itself. The company, the ticker is the Honest Company, HNST. Okay. Here is what we're seeing inside the private Telegram group because we bought this at 265 and the stock is currently up 13%. But you haven't missed out yet because the upside that you can capture is enormous. Now, here is what we're seeing. They were at a negative EPS environment estimate for the last year. And they beat every single quarter. They have always beat EPS. This from here for the next quarter and going into future quarters, they're going to be positive EPS, which will be upside growth. And if they have a track record of beating previous earnings, then this will be good. More than likely, they're going to be beating these earnings as well too. Okay, so this is what we're seeing. There's two or three different comparisons when it comes to EPS and earnings. One is the new quarter going to beat the previous quarter, and in this case, Q4 of 2025 will be beating the Q3. That is 0.01. It reported at 0.01, and Q4 of 2025, which is the next one, will be at 0.03, which is far greater. Then you have the question, well, is it going to be year over year? For quarter 4 of 2024, they reported a negative 0.01, and of course, 0.03 is far greater than that last year's quarter. So they're going to win. Then it comes to forward guidance, which is we don't know about, but from what we're seeing here, it's going to be in positive EPS territory, which is really good. That's that. Now let's go to the Gextron levels here. Gextron is the tool that we use that is created by me to figure out where are the key levels. Where does it start bullish? Where's the biggest level of resistance and support? What are the price targets? So on and so on. And we can figure out unusual optional trades as well too. Now, during earnings, they fell all the way down to $2.50, which is P-trans level. In our private Telegram group, P-trans level is the first positive bar, and the next 3 bars to the right must be positive. It marks that first bar as P-trans, which is where the call-dominated environment begins, which you can see that here in the upper top right. And what that can represent is also a final level of support. If it can hold that, it's a great spot to start a position or to enter a position, which if we look at the chart right now, if we look at the daily time frame here, you can see here, it has held the $2.50 for the last couple days since the earnings drop. It's been around that zone. You don't need to think of it as a hard spot. It's just a zone. It could be 50 cents, in this case, it could be 10 cents up, 10 cents down. It doesn't really matter, but it's around that zone. So we started a position here on November 7th at $2.65. Okay. For the last few days, the 7th, the 10th, the 11th, it has held above that $2.50 marker, which again is P-trans level. Now, let me show you the macro outlook because this is what I'm most excited about this position, which again, you can 2x your return with this. And you're not too late to the party because this has a huge upside potential. Now, if we take a look at this chart, here is basic market structure of price action. Higher low, higher high, higher low here, potentially bottoming out to go for the next expansion. Now, this is a weekly outlook. This can take anywhere from 3 to 6 months. Now, the reason this could be a possible higher low is because even though it did sweep this 249 level, it didn't close below it. This is just basic market structure, technical rules. It didn't close below it. So this is really bullish. That just lets me know there's a little bit of demand there, a little bit of buying pressure. Okay, great. if this can be marked as the higher low of this market structure, we could take it for the next expansion, which would be to break the previous swing high like it did right here. And in this case, it would be about this $9 area. This makes our trade from a $2.65 trade all the way to $9, a 237% ROI potential. So if you put $10,000, you can come out with $23,000 in profit on top of that, which is really good. Now let's take a look at the daily time frame, because the weekly structure, even though it is bouncing from this zone, it's not confirmation yet. There's not momentum yet. We still have some big areas. In this case, this V, you can ignore this indicator. This indicator doesn't really matter a whole lot. This is the biggest level of resistance, $5. Let's scroll. I'm gonna go down one time frame, which is the daily time frame, which is what we're taking it based on. And depending on how the weeks close throughout in the next 2 or 3 weeks, we might have a different outlook from daily time frame to a weekly outlook. Okay, that's just what we're seeing right there was possible. Now we are taking this trade, the share trade, based on the daily time frame right now. Okay, as long as Honest can hold this 250, we are bullish on it, and we will remain in this trade for as long as it can hold this on the daily time frame. If it closes below it, we will get out. We get stopped out. Pretty simple. The entry is to stay above 250. Okay. The next price target is going to be this $5 area to sell around this zone. That puts the trade from 250 all the way to $5, about a 99%, pretty much 100% return. That is a great ROI. And depending on how price action handles this area right here, then I will consider the next area of interest, which is $7.50, which would take it from where it's currently at all the way to 200%, pretty much 196% or something like that. Okay, that is the gameplay. And every time it hits this areas of interest that Gextron has given it to us, because Gextron is always looking at the options that are influencing this stock. And it's going based on the options, it's going to calculate the biggest levels of support and resistance. Depending on how price action handles those zones, then we will make a decision whether we need to get out or get back in, or vice versa, whichever it is, right? So, but that is the game plan. As long as it stays above 250, this has great upside potential, a good risk versus reward ratio, which is the most important part about this entire trade. Okay, everything about a trade is always RVR. And in this case, you can see here, it's a 39 RVR. It doesn't mean a high risk versus reward ratio doesn't mean high risk, high reward. It just means low risk, higher reward, which is what you want to do. Okay, that is the setup that we're looking at. If you want to make money, I would recommend you putting this on your watch list, and then or entering the position if you feel brave enough. But that's it. If you have any questions about Gextron or the trade itself, leave a comment down below. If you want to check out Gextron or some links, check out the description box, and I'll see you in the next one.